An AI coding agent just rewrote a critical function in your codebase. The tests pass, the PR looks clean, but 3 weeks later, something breaks. And you have absolutely no idea why the agent made that change in the first place. You can see what it did. You have zero clue why. That's not a minor inconvenience. That's a fundamental trust problem with every AI agent shipping code today. Git-why is a tiny open source tool that solves exactly this. Instead of letting your AI agent's reasoning evaporate the moment a comment lands, Git-why captures the full chain of thought, the goals, the alternatives considered, the decision path, and stores it directly inside the Git commit itself. Not in a separate log file that gets deleted, not in a Slack thread nobody will find. Inside the commit, permanently, alongside your code. Here's how it works in practice. When your AI coding agent, Cursor, Copilot Workspace, or any custom agent makes a change, Git-why intercepts the commit and appends a structured why block to the commit metadata. This block is machine-readable JSON containing the agent's reasoning trace, what problem it was solving, what approaches it rejected, and why it chose this specific implementation. You can read it with a standard git log command. You can query it programmatically. You can diff it. It travels with the code wherever the repo goes. The demo on the project page shows a real example. A commit that looks like a one-line refactor, changing a dictionary lookup to a default dict, carries a reasoning trace explaining that the agent detected a key error risk in a downstream function, considered 3 alternative fixes, and chose default dict because it was the least invasive change with no import side effects. Without Git-why, that context is gone forever. With it, any developer or any future AI agent can reconstruct the full decision. But here's the thing. Git-why does not make your AI agent smarter. It doesn't validate the reasoning. It doesn't tell you if the agent was right. If the agent made a bad call and logged a confident-sounding explanation for it, you get a confident-sounding explanation for a bad call. The audit trail is only as good as the agent producing it. Garbage reasoning, faithfully preserved, is still garbage reasoning. It also doesn't work out of the box with every agent setup. Right now, integration requires your agent to explicitly output a structured reasoning trace that Git-why can capture. If you're running a black box agent that doesn't expose its chain of thought, there's nothing to log. You'd need to either switch to an agent that services its reasoning or build a wrapper yourself. For teams using fully managed AI coding tools with no API access to internals, this is a real wall. What surprised me was how obvious this feels in retrospect. Git was always designed to answer the question, what changed? Commit messages were supposed to answer why, but in practice they're either empty, auto-generated, or written by an AI that has no memory of its own reasoning by the time it writes the message. Git-why closes that loop at the source. Where this gets genuinely interesting is compliance in regulated environments. Imagine a financial services team where every code change made by an AI agent must be auditable. Not just what changed, but what was the agent's stated intent. Git-why gives you that as a first-class artifact, stored in the same system you're already auditing. No additional tooling, no external databases. The reasoning trace is version controlled, cryptographically signed if you use signed commits, and travels through your existing CI/CD pipeline without any modifications. The realistic near-future use case is multi-agent workflows. When Agent A makes a change and Agent B later needs to extend or refactor that code, Agent B can read the embedded reasoning trace and avoid relitigating decisions that were already considered. That's not speculation. That's just using the JIT log as context, which is something LLMs already do well. The missing piece was always having structured, reliable reasoning data in the log to begin with. So why does this tool exist? Because we're in a weird transitional moment. AI agents are writing real production code, and the accountability infrastructure hasn't caught up. Git is the one piece of infrastructure every software team already trusts. Git-why is a bet that the lowest friction path to AI accountability is not a new platform. It's extending the tool that's already at the center of every software workflow. Is it a complete solution? No. It's an early wedge into a real problem. If you're running any kind of AI coding agent in a professional context, spending 20 minutes to set this up and understand what your agent is actually thinking is time well spent. The repo is linked below. Next episode, we're looking at a tool that does something even more unsettling. It uses an AI agent to review the reasoning traces of other AI agents and flags when they contradict themselves across commits. If that sounds like it could go wrong in interesting ways, subscribe and find out.